What your
know that
pastor don't want you to know
tithes and
about
offering
tithing.
never dealt with money? I'm saying again, tithes and offering never dealt with money. True tithes and offering was a exchange of goods and services. I'm saying again, true tithes and offering was an exchange of goods and services. It was never monetary, ever, ever. The only time, the only time when currency took place in this scripture in Leviticus, the only time when there was a currency exchange was during the feast days. And this was only because, just like I say, tithes and offering was dealing with goods and services, meaning that these people had animals and livestock and produce and different things that they was exchanging to and from each other, right? So when it came to the time for the feast days to happen, right? Some people had to travel real far to get to the nearest synagogue or church. So to keep them from traveling and having all this livestock and produce and different things like that, right? To keep them from traveling with all this stuff, they had developed a currency system where they had this currency system of money, right? If the money was pretty much good faith, all right? Where they had this, they're like, okay, we're not going to travel with all this, so we're going to go to the synagogue and we're going to give this as good faith. That when the produce and the cattle arrive to you, this is showing a good faith that you're going to get what is delivered to you, so it can be offered up into the offering into the storehouse. Because also keep in mind too, in the book of Leviticus, the only people who receive offerings, preferably tithes and stuff, right, was the Levi priests. And the only reason why they received that is because they lived in the church. That was the only reason why. So if you're not part of the Levi order, you should not be receiving no darn tithes. Period. You should not be receiving no tithes. Period. Because that was the only reason why they was doing tithes. Tithes on just like modern day right now. They'll flip it around and tell y'all, well, it's modern day now, so we gotta get these bill paid and stuff like that. Nah, they lying to y'all. And the reason why I know they lying to y'all because first of all, when I was in this ministry, I taught it. Second of all, when I was going to school in ministry, we know the truth about this because they taught us this. They taught us the truth about tithes and offering, how the way operate biblically and historically. So we know the truth. We know it. But we're like, yeah, we're gonna know the truth, but we're not gonna tell them that. We're just gonna let them know that pastor need to get the lights paid and stuff like that. So we need your tithe and offering. They didn't have the audacity to create another offering, which is known as the love offering. And y'all know what the love offering is, right? The love offering is an offering that goes strictly to the pastor for wherever it needs he wanted to be. If pastor want to go turn up in the club, that's what that love offering is for. If pastor want to take him and his family out to eat, guess what? That's what that love offering is for. And love offering is not even biblical if you're following the Bible. Hey, James, what's up with it, bro? If you're following the Bible, the love offering ain't even biblical. But that was the only time that currency was used, and that was during the feast days when people who traveled far, they couldn't travel with their livestock and produce so far And so they had a currency system out of good faith to give to the Levite priests to tell them, like, hey, your stuff is on the way. It is going to take time to get it. But we just hurry up and get here so we can make it to the feast. That was the only reason why currency was used in that situation. Other than that, tithes and offering was never, ever, ever, ever dealt with money. Period. Never. It always with produce and livestock. This is also the reason why, when you want to go into scripture, right? This is the reason why Jesus had got upset at them, right? Y'all remember the scripture where Jesus got upset and he started turning over them tables and stuff like that? Y'all want to know why them tables was set up the way it is? It wasn't because it was just a market. It was because through the tradition of the feast days. Because remember, when he went there, it was the feast day, right? It was the tradition of the feast day. What I'm telling y'all is that people would travel with their livestock and stuff, right? And they would do an exchange when they get to where they at, so they could participate in the feast. So when Jesus was saying that they wasn't doing what they were supposed to be doing, they was doing what these modern day pastors and bishops is doing right now, that's what got Jesus upset. They got them pissed off and started turning over everything and started whipping people and everything because he knew that they wasn't doing what they supposed to be doing.